The Cleveland Cavaliers and Detroit Pistons will actually take on one another on Wednesday night in the regular season finale for both teams, but they're also set to meet in the first round of the NBA playoffs. 1 versus 8. Obviously, this is an expectation that it's going to be lopsided in Cleveland's favor. Now, take into account that LeBron's won, 5 straight? Is that what it is? Eastern Conference championships, and you're looking at this game this series like it's going to be a blowout. But interestingly enough, Detroit actually matches up pretty well with Cleveland. They won 2 of the first 3 regular season matchups before Wednesday's meaningless season finale. That last game saw the then recently acquired Tobias Harris go for 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals, while finishing with a plus-minus of plus 16. It was his first game against Cleveland as a member of the Detroit Pistons. It was also the first time he had taken on LeBron James outside of his Magic career. Harris and the rest of his teammates held the 2-time NBA champion to just 12 points on 5 of 18 shooting. It was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Marcus Morris, and obviously Harris, who were playing the D. It looked like Stan Van Gundy, who's one of the best coaches in the playoffs, had a really good game plan going up against LeBron James. When you're looking at Detroit's previous meeting with Cleveland, it ended in an 8-point defeat for Detroit. Obviously, Tobias Harris was playing for the Orlando Magic at the time. LeBron finished with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. He only had to fend off Caldwell-Pope and Morris in that game. It's interesting because now you have 3 different rotational forwards going up against LeBron James defensively, which could cause some issues for the 2-time NBA champion. The game wasn't that close. Cleveland won by 18 points, or were up by 18 points heading into the fourth quarter. That's not the point. It's the first meeting between these 2 teams, and again, without Tobias Harris. Detroit did hold off the Cavaliers by 5 points, despite the fact that LeBron went for 30 points and shot 11 of 21 from the field. This tells us the story of a Pistons team that can beat Cleveland, even when the former MVP is on his game. The midseason acquisition of Harris is going to be huge in this series. He struggled a great deal in 3 outings against James and the Cavaliers as a member of the Magic. All Magic losses, Harris averaged just 4.3 points on 35% from the field. Conversely, James averaged 23 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds and 60% from the field. Why the difference between Tobias Harris' performance as a member of Detroit and Orlando is rather simple. Orlando had absolutely no one else on the roster that can go up against LeBron James. This led to Harris expending a lot of energy on the defensive side of the court, one of the primary reasons that he struggled offensively. You fast forward to Detroit's latest win against Cleveland, and it's apparent that wasn't the case. Caldwell-Pope and Morris were able to take turns with Harris on James, and enabled Harris to become the Pistons' 3rd scorer in that role that he's taken on, obviously, since joining the team. Another thing to look at when deciding not to take Detroit lightly in this series, Andre Drummond averaged 20.3 points and 13.7 rebounds, while shooting 62% from the field in Detroit's first 3 outings against Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, on the other hand, who was just named the Cavaliers starting center for the series, averages 5 points and 10 rebounds, less than 10 rebounds actually, in 3 games against Detroit. With Reggie Jackson able to go up against Kyrie Irving, and Marcus Morris more than capable of handling Kevin Love on the perimeter, Detroit matches up extremely well with Cleveland. It might not be enough for them to obviously pull off an upset here, which would be a historical upset, by the way, but it could make the series much more interesting than most people would first imagine.